$2,500, replied Adams thoughtfully. But he's such a bloody murderer, the most aggravating varmint I ever— Hey, who's the gazebo coming down the trail? Interrupted Benson, pointing up the bench. Stranger to me, said Adams. Anybody know him? One by one, the cowboys disclaimed knowledge of the unusual figure approaching. At that distance, he appeared to be a rather old man, slightly bowed. But a second glance showed his shoulders to be broad and his stride the wonderful one of a mountaineer. He carried a pack on his back and a shiny carbine in his hand. His garb was ragged homespun, patched until it resembled a checkerboard. A stranger without a horse, exclaimed Bandy. The man approached the campfire and halted to lean the worn carbine against the woodpile. Then he unbuckled a strap round his breast and lifted a rather heavy pack from his back to deposit it on the ground. It appeared to be a pack rolled in a rubber-lined blanket, out of which protruded the ends of worn snowshoes. When he stepped to the campfire, he disclosed a strange physiognomy, the weather-beaten face of a matured man of the open, mapped by deep lines, strong, hard, a rugged mask, lighted by penetrating, quiet eyes of gray. Howdy, stranger. Come on in, welcomed Adams with the quaint, hearty greeting always resorted to by a Westerner. How do? I reckon I will, replied the man, extending big brown hands to the fire. Are you Adams, the cattleman? You've got me, but I can't just place you, stranger. Reckon not. I'm new in these parts. My name's Brink. I'm a tracker. Glad to meet you, Brink, replied Adams curiously. These are some of my boys. Sit down and rest. I reckon you're tired and hungry. We'll have grub soon. Tracker, you said. Now, I just don't savvy what you mean. I've been prospector, trapper, hunter, most everything, replied Brink as he took the seat offered. But I reckon my calling is to find tracks. Tracker of man, horses, cattle, wild animals, especially sheep-killing silvertips and stock-killing wolves. Aha, you don't say, said Adams, suddenly shifting from genial curiosity to keen interest. And you're after that $5,000 we cattlemen offered for Old Gray's scalp? Nope. I hadn't thought of the reward. I heard of it up in Colorado, same time I heard of this wolf that's run amok so long on these ranges. And I've come down here to kill him. Adams showed astonishment along with his interest, but his silence and expression did not approach the incredulity manifested by the men of his outfit. Bandy winked a roguish eye at his comrades. Benson leaned forward with staring eyes and drooping jaw. Tim Bender made covert and significant signs to indicate the stranger had wheels in his head. The other riders were amiably nonplussed as to the man's sanity. Nothing more than the response of these men was needed to establish the reputation of Old Gray, the loafer wolf. But Brink did not see these indications. He was peering into the fire. "So-ho, you have," exclaimed Adams, breaking the silence. "Well now, Brink, that's good of you. We sure appreciate your intent. Would you mind telling us how you mean to set about killing Old Gray?" "Reckon I told you I was a tracker," replied Brink curtly. "Hell, man, we've had every pack of hounds in 2 states on the track of that wolf." "Is he on the range now?" queried Brink, totally ignoring Adams' strong protestation. Adams motioned to his foreman to reply to this question. Benson made evident effort to be serious. "I seen his tracks less than 2 hours ago. He killed a yearling last night." At these words, Brink turned his gaze from the fire to the speaker. What a remarkable fleeting flash crossed his rugged face. It seemed one of passion. It passed, and only a gleam of eye attested to strange emotion under that seamed and lined mask of bronze. His gaze returned to the fire, and the big hands that he held palms open to the heat now clasped each other in strong and tense action. Only Adams took the man seriously, and his attitude restrained the merriment his riders certainly felt. "Adams, would you mind telling me all you know about this wolf?" asked the stranger presently. "Say, man," said Adams, still with good nature, "it wouldn't be polite to keep you from eating and sleeping. We don't treat strangers that way in this country." "Old Gray has a history, then?" inquired Brink, as intent as if he had been concerned with the case of a human being. "Reckon I couldn't tell you all about him in a week," said the cattleman emphatically. "It wouldn't matter to me how long you'd take," returned Brink thoughtfully.